Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope everyone has an amazing day so far. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny and I'm doing this all about Christmas channel. I will keep it short. On this channel you will find lots and lots of seasonal decor DIYs and daily decor DIYs. So if you like what you see and you're not subscribed to my channel, of course I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It would help my channel a lot to grow. So enough talking. I have already my supplies on my table and we are going to start this DIY. And you see already on my table are the pieces of supplies we need. We need of course our tumbling towel blocks. What would we do without them? I have some tumbling towel blocks, a bag full with pieces cut off, so side pieces. I need a couple of them. I have my wood glue and you can use any glue you like. I have my glue gun, I have some paint, but you can use the paint at your choice, some scissors, some cutters, some brushes, and of course my wet old towel for wiping away the glue we don't need. So these are the main things we need for this DIY. What we're going to make, we are going to make a farmhouse tumbling towel blocks kitchen scale. So we will see how this will turn out. For this scale we are going to start with 6 blocks, 4, 5 and 6. Of course you can use, if you want to have also one with a brand, you also can do it on the side. There you don't see it, but for the rest I shouldn't use them for this DIY, but you can use it for the underside. So I have 6 blocks and I'm going to do very easy. Just make on 5 of them one line. This is one. Whoop, you see, but this is number 2. And we're going to place it together, number 3 and number 4, number 5, and the last number 6 will be the closure up. If this is already an example how the DIY will go, then it will be one disaster if everything is falling down. So, but we will see how this will turn out. We made a nice straight line. Press all of them down and we're going to place them beside over here and make sure that you have it glued together. We're going to get our old towel and we're going to wipe away the glue, and of course also over here the glue we don't need. And again you see a little out of the line, and now we're going to get 6 blocks again. You see here I have already one, there is already glued together, so 4, 5 and 6. Now I'm going to do some glue on this one. I'm going to do on this one and on this one and this one, and we're going to place it together. And now we have already 6 in a row. Squeeze them together and make a nice straight line again, and we're going to let both of them dry in for a couple of minutes. So I have here the smaller blocks and you see here this is the bottom, and I'm going to should go for 3 wide if you use the smaller blocks, and I would go for high, I think 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would think I would go for 10 if I'm correctly. So I will do 10 and that 3 times, just 3 times 10 blocks, and then glue them together. Then you already have your bottom. For the back side I would do the same. I won't do not 10, but I would go for 11. I think maybe even 12 if I'm correct. I would go for 12. And if you do them together, you see you need for the back side you need 12 length, and I would go for, now I think 3 rows, 4 rows. So I would go for 4 rows, or maybe 3. I think maybe you go for 3, because of course this will be wiping away. So you go for 3 rows of 12 blocks, and this is 3 rows of 10 blocks. So now I have the numbers right. So again, 3 blocks of 10, and this will be 3 blocks of 12 for the back side. So I did let dry in the back side, of course, also a couple of minutes. I'm going to do some glue on the sides because we are going to glue this one also together. the same like we did with the bottom. And again, squeeze it, press it together, and this way. So we make sure that we have it in a straight line, this way. And of course I have to go down or else he doesn't glue on top. So this way. And if the top of the is a little bit higher than the other side of the blocks, maybe then you also can get your sanding tool and just sand off a little piece. You also can do that, but if it's not too much, we always going to work with it. So I'm going to let this dry in. So both of the pieces are almost dried in. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my bottom. I'm going to have my back side. What I'm going to do with the back side, I'm going to do some glue on the underline over here, very easy, this way, and just go over it like this. What we're going to place it on the back side, totally on the bottom, like this, and we're going to place it against each other this way, and we make sure that everything sticks together. I keep it in place for a couple of minutes and then let it dry further, because this needs a couple of, I think at least an hour to dry in. So I'm going to wait for it. So our first piece of our kitchen skill is drying. We are going to now stick 6 blocks, number 4 and number 5 and 6. So we're going to glue 6 blocks together sideways this way, and we're going to do a number 2 and we lay them together, number 3. Now really this is number 4. Oh my. This is number 5. I am going to close it up if this goes on. This is not my day. I'm squeezing it, pressing it down, and make sure that we have a nice straight line again. And we're going to squeeze it and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. And you see, this one is drying, but this is the piece which will come on top of here, and it will carry the later the little basket always on top of your skill. At least I call it a basket. It probably has a different way, name, but of course you will see that in a minute. But if you want to make it from the smaller blocks, you need 2 rows of 9, if I'm correctly. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course, 3 rows of 9, and you are gluing it also against this side of your scale. So, but I have of course my 6 blocks because this is fitting for my bigger blocks. So I have this part of the scale. I'm going to try to lay it down this way very gently because he's not totally dried in yet. We are going to do some glue, and we are going to glue this against here on this side. So very easy, and I always looking which part is fitting the best, and I think this side. So I'm going to do some wood glue. I'm going to glue this over here. Make sure that you have enough glue this way, and I'm going to place it of course against this side. So not on top but just against it this way. And make sure that you have it in a nice straight line again, and also on the top. And we're going to let this dry in for at least an hour. And this is how our first frame of our scale already turned out. You see over this is the bottom, the back side and the top. What we're going to do, we're going to get now 4 blocks, and we're going to glue 4 blocks like this together. Very easy. So we're going to glue first the 2 together this way, squeeze it, and we're going to do this way and squeeze it, and then we're going to do on the sides and squeeze all 4 of them together in one straight line. And we're going to let this dry in also for a couple of minutes. And if you use the smaller blocks, you use of course 3, and I would go for 2 or 3 high. I think 3 high. So 3 blocks this way and 3 high. I let this front piece dry in for a couple of minutes. I'm going to do some glue on the underline over here. Very easy, just this way. And we're going to place it straight up against the front, and we're going to press this down and make sure that we have a nice straight line and we're going to let this dry in for at least an hour. So, and now you see already the frame is already dried in, at least so far. What we're going to do, we get now the difficult part, and that will be the part which is sideways. And I told you I maybe would have used this kind of blocks, but I'm going to leave the sides open because I want to give it a decorative look, and you see that later. But what I'm going to do with this, so this will be a little tricky because I always make my DIYs just out of my head and I have really no idea how many blocks I need. So I'm going to start with very easy, simple 6 blocks in a row. So very easy like this. Of course, I should have glued this. And this is number 2 and number 3, number 4 and number 5. And 6 is the closure up. And we're going to make 2 rows of 6 and squeeze them together like this. And we're going to do again 6 blocks. We already 5 and number 6. So this is 1 and number 2 and number 3, number 4 and number 5. And then I will just see how far I get. So it is always looking and trying, and because I don't have really a measurement, I just going to do something and I just will always see where it gets me. So I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes again. So I waited a couple of minutes, put it on the side again, and we are going to do some glue again on this side, and we're going to glue all this one together. So we get a nice front. At least I hope it will be a nice front, but we will see. So just squeeze it together and let this dry in at least for a couple of minutes again. And this way. So all the parts are drying. I'm going to place them a little bit sideways. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get 2 blocks, full blocks. I'm going to glue them together this way, very easy. Squeeze it, press it down, and make a nice straight line. Now I get 2 of, oh, you see already he's not a straight line anymore. I'm going to do 2 of them, and I'm going to also glue 2 this way together, and I'm going to squeeze it, press it down. I'm going to do some glue on this side, and I'm going to make a kind of a house, but at least it looks like a house. And this is already 1. I'm going to do again for the other side the same, and again 1 block this way, squeeze it, press it down. I'm going to do again 2 sideways over here, place them together, squeeze it, press it down. I'm going to get this one up, going to place them together the same like the other one, squeeze it, press it down. Then we're going to get 2 other ones, but this will be 2 loose ones. And of course squeeze it, press it down, and I'm going to do here the same. So you need in the total you need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces which are sideways. Just cut off a little piece of your block. You just take a marker and you go from this side to this side, and you can use this as a mold and just lay it over each other, make the line again, and just get your jigsaw or your handsaw and saw it out. And maybe also can you ask your husband if he would do a complete package only with the same sizes, so then you always have them laying around. So I'm going to squeeze it and make sure that we have a straight line, and this way the same, and this the same, and this, and I'm going to let this dry in also, and this will be for decoration for the sides. In the meantime, while our pieces are drying, I still need to tell you for the front, you see I can get it up. I am going to use this one, and I'm going to use a little of a dowel, and I'm going to lay it over here, but you see that in a moment how I will do it. And he is getting a little overlay over here, but for your smaller blocks you don't need the 2, but you need 3 wide, and you have to measure out a little bit. I think you need 7 or 8 high, but that's just go look for it, and then you just can measure out where you want to have it. So, and then you can do the same step like I do with the dowel later, so that doesn't matter. So now you also know the blocks you need for the smaller block. Always 3 wide, and I think you need 7 or 8 high, and then 3 times and glue together, because you have 3 blocks next to each other, because they are a lot smaller. Now for the sides, it will be very easy. I'm going to take the bigger one. I'm going to do some glue on the side, on this side, and on the underside. And we're going to, I hope I can do it in this way so you can see it much better. So, but for me, I don't see anything. So this is a little bit of a task, just to find the way where I want to have it this way, because I want to show it to you also. You see, this is already one, and now we're going to get a smaller one, and this will be some glue on the side of one of them and on the underside, and you glue them really close to this one, so like this, and just let it dry. I'm going to do the other side the same. We have to wait until this is dry and I can lay it on the side, and this is not possible yet. Before I'm going to do, I did go to my garage. I did cut out or saw out with my jigsaw 2 pieces of almost 14 centimeters, because that's just the height of my 2 blocks, which will be on the front over here. And I did 2 of them, but if you have the smaller blocks, your front is 3 blocks. So you need a little bit longer. So measure out your 3 blocks if you use the smaller blocks, and saw it out also 2 pieces of this length. We need one on the top and we need one on the bottom. And yes, I had a bright idea, because I was never thinking, if I glue this on front, I can very badly paint the inside. So if you are just like me, don't forget, I would almost forget it, that I'm going to paint first the inside, so that I don't have later problems to get inside of my skill, and it wouldn't look very nice if the inside is the wood color. So I'm going to get my sand color paint, and I'm going to paint only the inside, because that's the place where I can't get to anymore. So I'm just going to go for the inside, and I give it a nice sandy color, and like this. So I'm going to paint everything, so at least the inside, and then we're going to really glue it together. And also I did the inside, but don't forget also the inside of the part you do on front, of course, or else you will see again the wood coloring, and that's not what we like. So we are going to do also one of the sides of our panel, which is coming in front. So very easy and very fast. So you only need to do the front side, because you can of the back side, which will be in the scale, and then we can really glue it together. So the first step will be, we're going to lay it down on his side. We're going to get a dowel, and we're going to do some glue. Of course, I have to remove my little we say here dop of our glue, but of course I'm going to do some glue on the side like this, and I'm going to place it down, and I'm going to place my dowel just against this frame, and just keep it in place for a couple of minutes, but you don't have to wait that long. So I'm going to place my scale on the side, and I try to do it together with you. Of course, I have to look for if I have the right way before I'm going to show you, because or else you will glue it on the wrong side. So I'm going to turn it over a little light to you. I'm going to do some glue. I have to look for if I have the right side. If I glue it this way, then I have the right side, I think. Yes, I have. So I'm going to do some glue on this ending first, over here, and I'm going to place it this way, and I'm going to place it against the dowel, of course, and make sure that you have a nice straight line in this way. And now we're just going to let this dry. We don't touch it anymore until it is totally dry. And here you see what we have so far. We have already the underbase of our kitchen scale. I know it doesn't look like a kitchen scale right now, but I hope at the end of our DIY it will. So what we're going to do, we are going to make 4 blocks. We are going to do 2 blocks like this, and very easy on top of each other. First we're going to do 2 of them next to each other, and this way, so, and this one on this side, of course, and then we're going to place them on top of each other. Very easy, just do and just place them on top. So we're going to make a nice little bundle and squeeze them, press them down, and make sure that you have a nice straight line. And we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So we are going to take our block and we are going to do some glue on the top, and very easy from one side until the other one, like this. And we're going to place this one in the middle on top. Of course, be sure that you have it in a straight line, because or else it doesn't look very nice. And this way. And now we're going to let this dry. I showed you a little bit better just on top. And remember, this is just a kitchen scale for decorative ways. So we're going to place this aside. What we're going to do, we're going to get 8 blocks. We have already 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to make a nice row of them. And of course, this is number 1 and number 2, number 3, number 4, number 8, and number, that's not correct, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this will be 8, will be the closure up. I don't know how I counted, but that was not the right way. This way, of course. In the Netherlands we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's just the Dutch way. Maybe I did have that in mind. So, and Dutch way is very easy to do. Like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in Dutch is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So also very easy to learn. Again, we're going to get 4 pieces, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And again, we make another row because we want to make a basket for on top for the weight, where you normally weight your things. And this is 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and the last number 7. And we have number 8. And again, squeeze it, press it down, and make a nice straight line, and let this dry in for a couple of minutes again. So in the meantime, while this is drying, I'm going to show you, we did a bundle of 2 blocks and 2 blocks under. You can do that with your, of course, with your smaller blocks, and I would go, I think, for 4 next to each other, and then on top again another 4. That will be for me this place, this one you place over here. If you have the thing, and you even can do it if you think that's better, just go over and do 6 blocks. If the on top is wide enough, then you always can go for 6 under and 6 on top, just this way. That's always also an option. And what I'm going to do for this one, you have 8 in a row, and you see already, if you do it this way, you need at least already, I would go, I think, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I would go for at least 11 or maybe even 12. And I will do 3 rows of that. So just look what you like the best on top of here. If it does not too wide, but if you have the thing, maybe you can do 11 of 12 and that 3 rows, and then glue them together. And then you can go on the sides over it with your little blocks to make a line. We have to see, I have to go for you and see if the lining is still available over it. And you see that in a moment what I mean if I do it with my bigger blocks. I think if you do it this way, I think if you do this, I think this better. I think you will have to go for 11. I think 11 blocks. If you do it this way over here, and I think, yeah, if I'm correctly, I have to squeeze a little bit, push a little bit. Yeah, I think you have to go for 11, then you can still make a nice round around it, because you get 3 and you can go over here. Then you also have a little bit line over it which is standing up, and it looks a little bit more like a little piece you can do your weight on top. I hope I make sense, but I hear myself and sometimes I think I hope you understand, because in my head I have it in Dutch and I try to say it to you. So go for 3 rows of 11, and then you can even do 4 of this one, then 3 of this one, again 4 of this one, 3 of this, and then you have a nice basket for on top, because your scale will be a little bit bigger than mine, because I took a little bit wider everything, so he will be a little bit bigger than this one. So now I'm going to place one on the side, and again I'm going to make a nice line, and this way, very easy, go over all the blocks. So we are sure that everything glues together, right? I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to lay it this way, and I'm going to squeeze it and press it together this way. And because you still can work with it, you even can adjust it a little so it makes a nice straight line for all of them. And I wipe away the glue we don't need. So again, we get a nice underside of our it's not a basket, how you call a little, it looks more like a little tray for on top, maybe that's a better word. So I'm going to get my blocks and I'm going to go for 3 this way and 2 this way. So I'm going to make 2 lines of 3 and 2 lines of 2. So this way and this way. So very easy. Do them on top. A little like this, and this one, and this one, and this one, and again squeeze them together, squeeze it together, and we're going to do this one, and then already we have our rounding around our tray, a little plank. And now the last one, I have to squeeze it and press it, and again also over here, and we're going to let this dry in also for a couple of minutes. I did let it dry in for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to go around my blank. Of course I'm going to do some glue on this side and first on this side, and we're just going to build it up very easily. We're laying it down. We place this one against here, and we're going to do this one against here, and again we're going to squeeze it and press it together. We make sure that we have a nice straight line, and now you still can adjust it. That's the greatest thing. If you do it a little bit more early, I'm going to do some on this side, and on the underside I think I'm going to a simple line over here and over here, and I'm going to place it down, and again this way I'm going to do a 1 line under it over here, and over here, and now we're going to place this also against each other this way, so we get a nice little basket box. I don't know, I am always so frustrated why I don't get on the names of the, and if I putting out my camera, then I can really say what I want to say, but it's sometimes so much frustrating. But I think you have it the different way also. If you want to have speak Dutch and have English in your mind, then you would have the same like I have. So we are going to let this dry in again, and then we're going to glue it on top, and we're going to paint it. So in the meantime, while this is drying, I'm going to get 2 blocks again. And I'm going to do a very easy, I'm going to glue them on top of here. So I'm going to lay it, yeah, it's also not, it doesn't matter if how I lay it, because it still is the possibility that it goes down. So I'm going to do 2 together, very easy, because it will be a holder for our scale numbers, of at least the numbers it will be on front. And I think I'm going for a little frame on front in the square, and in the middle I will do a wooden round and just with the numbers on top, but we have to see. But first I'm going to do a little block the way I did it on top, but not so thick. This one is 2 layers, but this one will only be 1 layer. And I'm going to remove the glue. We're going to do this way, and I'm going to do some glue over here. And I'm going to a little line extra. And I'm going to place it, of course, in the middle. And over here, I think I leave 1 block open, and then I'm going to, you see, this is 1 row is open, and I'm going to do it from in the middle. This one will be in the middle with this, and 1 on each side. So I'm going to let this dry in. I have to look for that I have it on the right spot, and this way. And now I'm going to, I think I'm going to lay something under it, maybe a couple of blocks. Make a nice little row, so I can even use more, that he doesn't fall down, because that's not what we want. So you see, now he can really dry in. So my top is dried up almost, and of course this one is almost dry. And I took a little of a picture frame, because I'm going to do for the front, I'm going to do a picture frame. It's just a very easy one. You can buy them anywhere. I buy them always on AliExpress because they are very cheap over there. So I'm going to paint everything in my sand color. So all the pieces I'm going to do in the same color like I did also the inside. I'm going to color this one, and later I'm going to make in the inside, I'm going to make the clock of the scale. So, but first we are going to paint everything. And very easy, like I said, I'm using the sand color, but you can do anything you like. But I totally, the last period, I'm a little bit obsessed with this color. I don't know why, but probably when you see the wood still coming through, and I'm really enjoying it. I only have a hard time finding this paint again. I am looking forward already for a long time. I should have bought lots and lots of more than that I did the last time, but I still can find them here in our shop, the Action, and this is always $1.99 for such a big tube. So I'm always on the hunt for it, because they don't have it anymore, and I don't know why, because it's very new. So, but we will see. I hope I can get it again. So I'm going to paint everything, but I won't bore you with that. You see already all the pieces are drying, and I'm going to go to my computer and I'm going to make the clock the front of our scale. So I will be back, and of course you don't have to wait for you. It's just a second. And here you see the clocks. I did print it out. I did different sizes, but I think for my round is the underside is the right one. So I'm going to cut this one out, and I'm going to Mod Podge it on top of here. So very easy. I always make a couple of extra, because most of the time I'm not totally sure which size will fit the best, because sometimes my printer is not doing what I want. So I'm going to, most of the time I do a couple of extra. You see, I'm just going to very easy go around and make a nice clock out of it, and then I hope it looks very nice when I have it on top of my wooden frame. But if you have a better idea to want, maybe you can draw really good well with numbers and that kind of thing. So then you can do it yourself, and it will even look better than what I do just with a picture. So if you are just a great drawer, but I'm not, then of course you can make it your own. So I'm going to have this one, and I'm going to, like I said, glue this on top of here. So I'm going to, because I use the whole frame, now I can very easy do some Mod Podge over the whole place. But if you have a smaller one and you have to be careful, then of course maybe you can do the Mod Podge on top of the picture. But for me it doesn't mind. So I'm going to go over the total of the wooden frame. But I will make sure that I don't get Mod Podge on my picture because I like the matte finish. So I'm going to place it down, make my hands clean because I don't want some Mod Podge on top of here. And I'm going to place it over here and make sure that you have it in the inside. And be sure, and later I'm going to get my black marker and I'm going to go over it to make a nice line around it. But first I'm going to let this dry in. And like this. At least I hope you can see it better than now. So, and you see the lines are not perfect. So I'm going to get, maybe I even can get my gold marker, this one. And I am going to go with my gold marker around it. So, but I let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So I have my gold marker and I'm going to go over the lines and I'm going to make the mark of the rounding in the gold color. But if you like black better, it's also fine too. I will do it out of camera because this will take a lot of time for you because you have to make your time to make a nice round. So this is how my clock turned out. Of course, this is a little bit of the old vintage look, but I like it. So I'm going to get my frame. Very easy. I'm going to do some wood glue on the back side. Oh, at least if I can get the get the lid off like this, and you do have to do everything with one hand. So again, I'm just going to do it in the middle, some glue, and very easy. And I'm going to place it over here and I'm going to try to make it this way and get it exactly in the middle, and then we're going to let this dry in. Now I'm going to get my scale, of course, and I'm going to get the top and I'm going to look for how I can glue it the best way. I already turned it over and then but it doesn't work because he is not steady enough to to stay in place. So I have to do it this way. But of course I have to look if I am on the side. He has to not to go too far to the back side. So you have to really have him in the middle. So it's a little bit hard to get them where you want to have it. So it is a little bit of, you have to be patient what you do. So we are just going to try it, and I'm just going to do some glue in the middle, and then I can even remove it a little bit. So I think I'm going to get the middle of this one over here, and now I hope I have it here, and I'm going to turn it over very carefully because he's turning with me. You see already he's going all the way, not the way I want to. He goes everywhere. He's even swimming on his on the glue. So I'm going to turn it over again and look for the middle of my blocks. And I think I am almost at the right spot I want to have it. So, but that's of course a personal privilege. Just go ahead and make sure that you have it on the place you want to have it. So I think I'm going for this. I have him here in the front, I have him in the middle, and I hope I have him here also in the middle. So you see already I have some paint can on top of here to give it some pressure so he can dry very nicely. I'm going to glue as last piece, I'm going to glue this on top of here. And then you see in a moment, you see the quick impression. So I hope to see you in a moment. And here you see finally a quick impression of our tumbling tile blocks scale, and I'm so happy how it turned out. You can use it for everyday decor, so you can use it all year round. I'm so happy like this one turned out. And of course, like I always say, you can change it up any way you like. Of course, I hope you took out the tumbling tile blocks too and did this DIY already together with me, and you have right now your own beautiful home decor scale. So again, if you are here and you like what you see and you're not subscribed to my channel, channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It would help my channel a lot to grow. So enough talking. I wish you all an amazing day and I hope to see you in the next DIY. Bye.